Hello again. In today's video, I'll show you how to remove a Windows from a dual boot computer without damaging the installed Linux or your data on it. If you've already tried and liked a Linux distribution and you're annoyed by the boot menu constantly appearing when you start your computer or you need more disk space, it means it's time to remove Windows from your disk. Let's do it today together and completely safely. Just follow me and watch closely. Let's get started. Close all open windows and programs, restart the computer, and go to BIOS. If you don't know which button is responsible for activating the BIOS, check your computer's documentation. Most often, this is the delete button and F2. In the BIOS, look for the boot priority settings and set your Linux as the first to boot. When you're done, type the F10 button and save the configuration. The computer will restart. Once Linux has rebooted, open your web browser. Search the web for Gparted. Go to the download page and download the Gparted USB ISO image. Wait for the download to finish. When the download is complete, open the Downloads folder. I will show you how to make a bootable USB in two ways, and you can choose the one that suits you more. The first is with Ventoy, if you have one installed. If you don't have it, watch my videos on how to create Ventoy on Windows and Linux. When you have a Ventoy, simply copy the downloaded ISO image and paste it into the Ventoy disk. And your bootable USB is ready. The second way is by using Fedora Media Writer. Fedora Media Writer is a stable program for creating bootable USB drives. Download it from your App Store and use it. It really works. After installing Fedora Media Writer, run it. Now choose Select ISO File. Select the USB drive on which you will install the ISO image, and then press the Select button to select the Gparted ISO file. You need to enter your password and then wait for the process to complete. When done, close all programs and restart the computer. In the boot menu, select your UEFI USB drive and press Enter. Then confirm with Enter in the following prompts and wait for Gparted to load. We use Parted Live USB because in Linux we won't be able to perform some of the actions we need. For example, moving and extending the Linux partition. When Parted Live USB loads, Parted will start automatically. Now we see all the partitions on our dual boot disk. First is the EFI partition that we need to save. The second is a Microsoft Reserve partition, or MSR, which we will delete. Next is the Windows C partition, which we will also delete. The fourth in this case is the Linux partition. Here I will draw your attention to the fact that this Linux installation is simply everything on one partition. In other installations of the various distributions, a swap may also be automatically created, and you will see it just before the main Linux partition. Sometimes, when dual booting, it is possible to manually create a second EFI partition. For example, Pop! OS requires an EFI size of at least 1000 megabytes, and the EFI partition that Windows automatically creates is only 100 megabytes. Then we have to resize the EFI partition or create a new one during the Linux installation. Anyway, if you have a second EFI partition, you will be able to see it immediately after the Windows C partition. I recommend that if you have a second EFI partition on your drive and you don't have enough experience at the moment to save both EFI partitions, after doing all the next steps from this video, you can come back here and delete the first EFI partition that was created by Windows. Now let's continue with our disk. The next partition is Windows Recovery. We're going to remove that too, and we end up with some free space. In the next steps, I will remove the unnecessary partitions. After removing the unnecessary partitions, use the free space to create a new simple partition or extend the main Linux partition, as I will do. It's easy, just right-click on the Linux partition and select Move or Resize. Then select the partition size by dragging. When you are ready, press the Move or Resize button, confirm in the next window, and go to Apply. Here, you can still reject the changes or continue like me. Click on the Apply button and wait patiently for the process to complete. When the process is complete, you can see the final allocation of your disk. You can now close Partitioning and restart your computer. After the reboot, remove your USB device. In the boot menu of zorinos we still see the Windows Boot Manager. Now we're going to go fix this. Open your Linux File Manager. Go to Other Locations and then to Computer. Open the boot folder and look for the EFI folder. When opening the EFI folder, you will need to enter your password. Open the EFI folder again. In the EFI folder, we see 3 folders: Boot, Microsoft, and Ubuntu. Microsoft is the last folder left from the Windows installation. Note that if you have multiple Linux distributions installed, you may have folders for each of them. For example, folders left over from Fedora, Arch Linux, and Debian installations. In order to have no unnecessary files, you should delete all except the boot folders, and in my case, Ubuntu. If your system is Fedora or Debian, you should keep these folders and delete the others. Be careful, because deleting either folder will be fatal for the system to boot. The next step is to update the GRUB bootloader. To do this, open the terminal. The command to update the GRUB bootloader is sudo update grub. Type the command in the terminal, press enter and enter your password. After the process is complete, close the terminal and restart the computer. Now everything is ready, and zorinos loads without us seeing an operating system selection menu. This is because zorinos does not find another operating system after we remove everything from Windows. If you still want to see the zorinos menu, follow my steps, and I'll show you how. Open the File Manager. Go to Other Locations and open a computer. Now open the etc folder. Search for and open the folder named Default. In this folder, we are interested in the text file named GRUB. To edit this file, we need to open it with the terminal, so I moved this folder a bit to make space for it. I'm doing this to make it clearer and easier for you if you don't have experience with the terminal. Now we will use the xdgopen command. The xdgopen command in the Linux system is used to open a file or URL. But why use it when we can open this file with a click? The answer is simple: we can open the file, but we don't have root privileges. When we type sudo in front of xdgopen and then type the address of the directory where the file is located, followed by the name of the file we want to open, the file will open, and we will be able to edit it and then save the changes. Let's do it. Type in the terminal sudo xdgopen. Then, for your convenience, you can drag and drop the file and grub it into the terminal. Now in the terminal, we have the address and the name of the file we want to open. You need to remove the question marks. When you are done, press enter. Now type your password and press enter again. To make the zorinos menu visible, go to grub_timeout_style and change hidden to menu. You can also change the delay time from grub_timeout. By default here, it is set to 10 seconds, but I will change it to 5 seconds. You can make it as much as you like. When you're done, save your changes and close the GRUB file. The last step is to update GRUB again. Type the command sudo update grub in the terminal, press enter and enter your password. After the process is complete, close the terminal and restart the computer. We can now see the zorinos menu when starting the computer. From here, we can choose different options to load our Linux, and we also have the option to enter the BIOS. In the next video, I will present MX Linux, which is a very popular operating system. I hope today's video was useful and interesting for you. If so, please like, share, and subscribe to my next videos. Thank you for watching. Take care.